Hi folks, Sty North here. This video is a VR to Bushcraft Ukraine. My good friend over there at Bushcraft Ukraine did a VR to Irish Zombie, I think it's Irish Zombie Nation. He's got a real interesting channel too. It's a really good channel. Folks should probably check him out. But my good friend over at Bushcraft Ukraine tagged me in a VR he did, and he reminded me that I was tagged the other day, and he simply asked me, he said, I'm just curious, Sty, were you going to do a VR on that tag? And I thought, oh my gosh. And I went and I looked, and I have a video list that I'm trying to fill, and I know it's going to take me forever to fill it. There's over 200 videos on that video list, and I think I'm at 110 or so right now. So I'm about halfway through that list, but it seems like every week I end up adding 2 or 3 more videos that need to be done to that list. So the VR that I need to do is in response to my favorite bit of gear. And at the end of this, I'm going to tag a few people too. I want to see what their favorite bit of gear is. Now, it's my understanding, the rules on this is it's one piece of gear. It's not like what's my favorite kit or anything of that nature. It's one piece of gear. What's your favorite piece of gear? And I think he mentioned something to the point that it would be nice if it had some nostalgic kind of value to it. So this is my VR to Bushcraft Ukraine. Here we go. Now don't laugh, okay? Don't laugh. Some people might think my favorite bit of gear is a little different. But here it is. This, mind you, is my favorite piece of gear, and I'm going to explain why. First, I'm going to explain what I've got here. It doesn't look like much. The sheath on this knife, it's a knife, of course. The sheath, it's a canvas type of material that's got like a rubberized vinyl type coating to it, and it's studded, it's stitched and studded along the edge. And you would think, boy, look at that cheap old sheath, that ain't no good for nothing. Well, for many years I've been thinking, I wish I could find somebody to make me a nice sheath for this knife. But so far I haven't had the heart to replace this sheath. This knife has never fallen out of this sheath. This sheath does not dull my knife in any fashion. It's sturdier than it looks, and it's the standard sheath that comes with this knife. Now most people, I've had a lot of people say, boy, Sty, I expected you to have a very expensive bushcraft knife. Well, I almost would expect myself to have a expensive bushcraft knife also. But I go to how much value has a knife got to me, and this one has had a lot of value. Now I got this knife, I purchased it new. A little over 40 years ago. Now that's hard to believe, isn't it? 40 years ago I purchased this knife, And this sheath has lasted for over 40 years. Rugged use. It's been in the outdoors constantly. Now I'll show you the knife. Enough about the sheath. This is the knife, okay? I don't know if it'll focus or not, but it's a Sir Lawrence stainless steel blade. Now, first of all, Sir Lawrence knives are made in Japan. This is a Japanese knife. Excuse me. When I purchased this knife, I think I paid $15 or $16 for it. Well, back in the 1960s, $15 was a lot of money, mind you. You can buy this knife today. You can find these online, and you can buy this knife for under $30. The knife itself, it's about 11 and a half inches long. The blade is 5 3/4 inches long. It's got a hardwood handle. I'm not certain what kind of wood it's made out of. It's full tang. The width of the blade and the tang is 1/8 of an inch. Heavy, very heavy. But the knife itself doesn't feel that heavy. It's a well-balanced knife, very comfortable. They've made the grip so that it's very comfortable to grasp. It also has the forward in-blade finger notch in it, for if you're doing in-close work with it. Very nice to have. And it's sturdy. It's very sturdy. I have batoned with this knife not hundreds, but thousands of times. I always carry this knife with me. It's wherever I go. This knife is my shaga knife. This is what I harvest shaga with. Most of us take a hatchet out, or they use a machete. Some people go as far as bringing an axe with them. I use this knife. I baton it on the butt end of the knife. I pound on it. Check out my shaga harvesting shaga video, and you'll see me using this knife to harvest a quite large piece of shaga. And you watch how I baton on it and how I beat on this knife. And I've had people say, that you're ridiculous abusing a knife that way. Take this knife and you tell me that knife's over 40 years old. You tell me that's over 40 years old, and I'll buy you dinner. You can't believe how durable this knife has been. This knife keeps an awesome edge, super sharp. I rarely ever strike a new edge on it. I'll just do a cleanup on it, or I'll use it on a strop. That's it. This knife is so sharp. Last September I was making a deer snare. I got to do a video on that too, a deer snare. And that goes to show knife safety. I use this knife. I can do feather sticks with it. I can do anything with it that I can do with a small knife. But I was making a deer snare, and I had a large pole, and I was making a notch in it. I had my hand 18 inches away from that notch, at least that far away. And I had this knife in the notch, and I was prying up, trying to pop that piece out of the notch. And this knife slipped, and just the tip of it, just the very tip of it, come across my pointing finger, and it bought me 8 stitches and a long time healing, because it took it right down to the bone. This puppy is sharp. I've field dressed and skinned elk with this, deer with this. I've filleted fish with this. And I've done every bushcrafting thing you could imagine with this. So that's my favorite bit of gear. There it is. A Sir Lawrence Japanese-made stainless steel blade bushcraft knife. They call it the Hunter. some of them advertise it as a fighting knife. Well, fighting knife, you'd have to fight me for it because I'm not giving mine up. But I consider it a bushcraft knife. I love it. It's my favorite bit of gear. Goes with me everywhere. Now for the tags. Here you go, guys. I want to see what the three of you have for a favorite bit of gear. First tag. I'm going to send this one out to John at Turtle Bushcraft. Come on, John. Show me what you got there for your favorite bit of gear, okay? Second one. It's going out to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. Now this man, I just adore this man. He's kind of won a spot in my heart, and I love watching his progress. He's doing wonderfully, and I want to see him keep it up. Good for him. So, Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, you've been tagged. Come on, show me your favorite bit of gear, would you? The other one is Bushcraft and Edibles in central Wisconsin. Hey, show me your favorite bit of gear. I want to see what you've got that's just your favorite piece, okay? Now, if you guys have already done VRs on this topic, I haven't seen them. So message me and put me on to them, and then you don't have to do one. But if you haven't done one on your favorite bit of gear, you've been tagged. So, this is Sty North. I was tagged, and I missed getting it done. But now it's done. Thank you, Bushcraft Ukraine, for reminding me. I'm glad to have been able to do this one. I hope you all enjoyed it, and oh, for nostalgic reasons on this knife, my grandfather told me to pick this knife up. Now mind you, I was under 12 years old at the time I purchased this, and my grandfather told me to purchase this big old monster of a knife. So it has some nostalgic value. Okay, folks, that's it. This is Sty North. From all of us here at Wilderness Thriving Fundamentals, you all have a very nice day. Bye-bye.